Hey everybody, welcome back to our series here. This is video number 8 on fraud, waste, abuse within the DLA Disposition Services. Alright, my name is Dave, of course, and let's get right to it. First of all, we're going to try to keep this nice and short, 5 minutes. But I would, first of all, like to reach out to Mr. or Lieutenant General Darren K. Williams. You've got an exemplary service record, and welcome to the DLA. Good for you. Sounds like you've done a lot of great and wonderful things. Alright, I reached out to your staff today. Please give me a call. I'd like to talk to you about the $500 million of fraud, waste, abuse that is going on under your command. Alright, also Stephen Nace. Steve, hi, how you doing? Give me a call, reach out to me, email, tweet, anything. I'd like to get in touch with you guys. Today we're going to discuss two really dumb things. Start off with blinker fluid. If you're in the military, you know what I'm talking about. And the DLA's inability to follow their own regulations. It was just put out last month and still can't seem to follow it. What that means is things like what's happening in Hawaii and Guam that just went on, okay? You've got at least 3 battalions of M1025 Humvees. These things, by the DOD booklet here, says they can be sold. Iron Planet and government liquidators are selling these things. Right here, they have sold them. But guess what? Over 150 of them or so have been turned into scrap out in out in the Pacific, resulting in the loss of $7,500,000 at today's resale value. Instead, they got $20,000, $30,000 for them. I don't know. I know that people have been reaching out to me and kind of been really disgusted about it. These vehicles drove to the scrapyard. They drove there. You get 5 cents a pound-ish, minus transportation fees, things like that, and then you turn around and they crush them and then they're gone. But if you just leave them in place, you don't have to transport them or anything, give them to your third-party contractors, whoever they may be, you get up to $72,000 per vehicle. So guess what? If you probably would have sold one of those vehicles, you would have made more money selling one of those vehicles than all the scrap for the other 149 vehicles. So, something to think about. All right, moving on. Katie, post.
Okay.
Come on over.
I'm coming.
Okay, we're going to do another lesson in silliness, okay?
Hi, I'm back.
Oh, God. Don't pick up an M4 this time.
Okay.
Let's just sit down. All right, well, what happened is I'm going to talk to you about what happened at Fort Hood recently.
Okay.
Okay? I think they called it Operation Clean Sweep, okay?
Okay.
Where it sounded like it was a good thing to do. You identify excess equipment in your motor pool, and you turn it in, and you get a little bit of money back for it, and it goes back to the system and gets reused. Sounds great, right? Okay, I'm down one motor pool about 100 feet from your motor pool. Have a spare part, okay? Here you go. Wait a minute. No, I got to turn this in. Yeah, you need it,
Yeah.
but I got to turn it in. So what's going to happen? Well, we'll get there. What's going to happen is I'm going to turn it in at the DLA turning point, okay?
Okay.
You can get it now. Stop. But it's got to go to Sierra Army Depot first.
Can I get it now?
No, it's got to go to the Sierra Army Depot. You know where that's at? Central California. So yeah, this piece right here, oh yeah, but I get paid for it, okay? So what happens is I get a small amount of money, probably 10%. This costs $100. I get $10 back. I turn it in, I get $10 back, and you can order it from the Sierra Army Depot, even though it's just down the street. Okay, now, here's the thing. These are more common parts than you'd think. This is the only reason why this is getting turned in is because it's not on a vehicle right now. When I go and turn this into DLA, I'm going to go back to my motor pool. Guess what I'm going to do?
What?
I'm going to order another one.
But you could have sold it to me for a bunch more.
But I can't do that. I need to go through the stupid system. Which means I have to buy another one at full cost. I only got 10% back. Oh, and by the way, when you order it, you're going to be ordering a new one, or this same one, from the Sierra Army Depot out in California. So it's got to go get put in a container, go to California, get sorted, put it on a shelf. You call them up, tell them you need the part. They'll put the part back in a box, FedEx it overnight, and send it to you for about $400 in shipping costs.
Yet in an hour, you could have sold it to me for
An
like...
hour?
Not even an hour.
This was free turn-in, which means no documents were required. Which means I could take this in the real world and go, here you go. But no, we got to have to keep people employed, have to keep the thing going. Okay, so, all right, you got that one? Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And this is what's happening, because a lot of the officers are they're getting told, hey, you need to save money, need to go through your motor pool and everything. And if you got a part, especially things like service packs and filters and things like that, what soldiers have been telling me, mechanics and soldiers and all that, especially hotel qualified people, have been telling me is that what's been happening is they've been told to get rid of their stuff, turn it in. They go back to the motor pool, they got another Humvee coming up for service, they immediately reorder the part, brand new, and watch the part they just turned in get sent to scrap metal pile. What the hell? Okay, alright. Moving on, if we can. Alright, you have all sorts of stories about DLA, DOD, and everything needing money, right? So we're not here to nitpick or anything, and we love the DOL, don't we? We really do. They provide beans, bullets, ammunition, water, toilet paper, everything they could imagine, and we need that stuff. But they need money and they need help. So I'm going to offer up a suggestion on how to make money. Okay, ready? Boom.
It's magic.
Not magic, it's a printer. All right, this is an artillery piece, okay? A lot of people are cringing going, oh, he wants to sell artillery pieces. Well, yeah, I did. Now, here's the deal. The ATF allows these to be imported, allows them to be owned, no paperwork whatsoever. They only have to be demailed to ATF standards, which means that it's a pretty lengthy process. They go through, they cut the equilibrators, they cut a hole in the barrel, they cut a hole in the breech, they cut the breech in half. A lot of things to go to it, and then they get sold. This one right here goes for about $20,000 per item. Think about it. You got 100 of these. You don't need your calculator. That's a lot of money. Also, these are all over the place in the country at VFWs, on displays. Towns have them right in the middle of everything. You've seen these laying around, haven't you?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, and what has to happen is you have to have people up at Warren, Michigan, or either Warren or TACOM, that go around and inspect these to make sure nobody's made off with them. Well, if you'd send a team around, demill them on site, you get rid of that team. They no longer have to go around. The states don't have to go around keeping them on the perpetual list. They've been demilled. They're done. They will never fire again, but look, they really do look good in gardens, don't they? I've had one, haven't I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, but the thing is, you could raise millions of dollars and do a pet project with this. Because in comparison, Operation Clean Sweep raised $12,000. Got news for you, dude. On Fort Hood right now, there's a bunch of 1025s, or there were 1025s, all right? If they would just be signed over to Iron Planet, government liquidators, any other third-party entity, the government would have saved $2.5 million just for a small batch of Humvees. Instead, they paid money to transport them up to Red River, so they got demilled. Translation. All right? All right, and that's about it for right now. Tell you what, hey, again, in all seriousness, General Williams, this is crazy. Think about it this way. If you had a soldier under your command who was intentionally destroying $500 million worth of gear, I don't care if he's a private or a lieutenant colonel, that guy would be removed from service and have charges against him in the very next day. Why is it okay for a civilian to do the same darn thing? These vehicles can be sold. They are being sold right now. If you check with Mr. Stephen Nace, there's thousands of them all over the country waiting to be chopped up. Hemmets, not helmets, like the other idiot said. Hemmets, Humvees of all types are getting crushed that are ECCN 0 Alpha 606 Alpha coded. I've talked to the State Department, I've talked to the Department of Defense, I've talked to DITSA, Mr. Aaron over at DITSA, Mr. Stoddard over at the Department of Commerce, Mr. Warren over at State Department. Check them out. Call them. The words that they used to me were, they have never been so disgusted at one of their rulings being so abused. All right? That's the words that they used to me. They could not believe that these vehicles were getting crushed. Okay? And they still can't. So, hey, please give me a call. I'd love to hear your side of the story. But till then, we keep making movies. And, hey, one last thing. Oh, my God. We've been operational for 3 weeks, okay? 3 weeks. We're at almost 3,000 views. 3,000 views in 3 weeks. I don't know if you know this, but in YouTube world, that is amazing. Unless you got a little cat doing cat tricks or something like that, or a Kardashian, or memes, you don't get very many views. Just ask members of Congress. They got stuff out there that been out there for weeks. They have 12, 14 views. But we're over 3,000 views. And you, the people out there, have been giving me tips. You've been telling me what's going on, and I couldn't do this without you. And we're really disturbed at what's going on. DLA people can't speak out because their job may be in danger, but they tell me what's going on. I put it out there. You know, I've been asked to get arrested by Mr. Nate Barnes, called the state of Texas to try and get me arrested, but whatever. I'm not really scared of him. And thank you very much for the videos. Call me. Hey, General Williams, call me. I'm waiting. Thank you much. Bye.